Okay, so raise your hand if you like catfish. My people. Okay, so raise your hand if you like fishing. Okay, about like half and half. All right, good, good, good. I think this should go well because I'm telling y'all some fishing stories today, and that's all I got. So, the first story was my very first fishing trip. I was 6 months old. I was 6 months old. I was an infant. It was crazy. So, my dad, it was just me and my dad. You know, he's a first time dad, and everything's all new, and he's just itching to get back to the water, or he likes to call it his church. So, when we go fishing with my dad, it's not just some, nice, clean, cute little pond with a dock going out in the middle. Something you'd see on like a screensaver or something, right? No. We are in the sticks. Like, we are in this big field, like random places out in the country, places that you just got to know about. The kind of places where you have to hike to the fishing hole. You might have to climb over some rusty old barbed wire fences that you might get tetanus from. And like the weeds are like up to your head. So mind you, my dad, he has his tackle, my diaper bag, a pole, and somehow making his way down to go fishing. I don't know how he did it. He's a Superman, but he did it. So, that day, it was a beautiful day. It was probably about fall time in Oklahoma, which is about the time when baby water moccasins are born and starting a whole new season of life, of new beginnings. And according to dad lore, it was a good day for bites, too. He was getting them. It was a perfect day for fishing. So what he did, he kind of made a little pallet for me, laid me out. I was all cool and comfy and just having a good time, or so they tell me. And so dad, he finally puts the line out, good bites, everything's going perfectly. It's peace, we're back at the water. Until a ginormous, big, fat dragonfly comes and swoops down and scares me to unrelentless tears. Like I'm wailing, I'm inconsolable, we're done. So I guess I wasn't really ready for that first trip. But it's a really special story for me because obviously I don't remember it, but it's a story that my parents tell me all the time. Honestly, they could probably tell it better than I could. They should probably be up here. But what that story really means to me is that it was the mark of a tradition with me and my dad where we go fishing for catfish. And so with that, tell you a little bit about me. I was born in Texas. I have an ancestor lineage from here. My mom's family is Creek and Seminole from Iwoka, Oklahoma. We're descendants of intermixing between the freedmen and the tribes who owned them. My dad, he was adopted by a lovely family called the Merritts about when he was 5 years old. And a lot of his memories from before that time are vague. The institutions he ran are vague. But the Merritts, they told him a story about how his parents, his biological parents, were unfit to raise him. And that his family was of Hopi and Cherokee relations. I have one known biological grandparent. That's Grandma Mamie D. Williams. She was amazing. She passed away when my mom was about 10. And I could go on all day about that woman. I mean, she was phenomenal, but that's a different story for a different time. But this story, it really opens up on the story of my mom and dad. See, they met at a rodeo in Iwoka, Oklahoma, sometime around in the 80s, I think. So, sparks flew, and the rest is history. So I tell you all this to tell you that we're a family that has had to rely heavily on spirit and intuition to guide us to the places and the things that fill and heal our hearts. And not unlike the water moccasins and the catfish, we've had to adapt to navigating murky waters of life successfully. And while that path hasn't always led to the best medicine, sometimes it's led to, skins we'd rather shed than keep. We always still slither through the murky red dirt and make our way back to the water, back to the wisdom of the catfish, the only kind of wisdom that you can get from that experience. So, I'm going to tell you about my next first fishing trip, the one that I was actually conscious for, right? So I was 6 years old this time, and my dad decided to take us out to Wild Catfish Farm, somewhere in west of Oklahoma City. I don't know where, out in the sticks, I don't think it's there anymore. It wasn't my dad's ideal fishing hole for the day, but it was one of those things there was, a sure thing for me. I hadn't got my first catch yet. I was just getting online, so it was perfect. And Wild Catfish Farm, it was this nice, cute little area, had a petting zoo. It has beautiful glades of grass, ponds everywhere, the cute little farmhouses, all of that. And it was a beautiful spring day. I mean, gosh, it had probably just rained. There's a little dew on the grass, so the bites are going to be good that day. And it was just that kind of day, the first days of spring, where there's that buzz in the air. There's insects and birds, and everything's just buzzing and humming with that special, fresh energy of a fresh, energetic new year. So, I was just excited to be there, doing something special with my dad that I haven't done before, and also because, my other, older big brother cousins got to go with him, so I was excited to finally have my turn to go. It was really special for me. But I didn't really have any expectations, because I'm a small person now, so I was even tinier, and he bought me with the big pole that day, so I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm just excited to be here. Let's do this. So we settle in. Like I said, perfect day for fishing. It was beautiful. We find a good spot, and, we're just chatting away. Well, I'm just chatting away. I'm probably asking a gazillion, million annoying little kid questions about this new environment that we're in, and I'm all excited about it until something magical happens. My pole jumps in my hands. There is a fish on the other side of my line. It's go time. I am so excited. I look over at Dad and he's just sitting there. Looks like you got a bite, tadpole. My dad never calls me by my name. He calls me tadpole. I don't know the last time he's called me by my name. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, and we gotta do something, right? There's a fish. We gotta move. I gotta get this fish. And so I'm kind of going into that angsty place, and he's just like, wait. Wait on what? There's a fish on the other line. Let's go, right? What do I need to wait for? What's going on? What are we waiting for, Let's go. And I keep going on and keep protesting. He goes, just wait. I'm like, okay. All right. So I'm listening. I'm being obedient, and I wait. And for a little kid, that's really hard because it's already hard enough to get me to sit still and wait for the bites. So I'm like, okay. And that went on for a few minutes. I get the nibbles, the pole would jump a little bit. I get really excited, look over. No, just wait. Until the next magical moment happened. If you're a fisher person, you will know. That magical arch and bend in my pole, like a magical rainbow. My line went from a slacky, slithery snake on the water to a tight-pinned line. One that I was terrified that I would break it, it would snap, and I would ruin this whole thing. And so, once that full bend happened, Dad says, okay, now, yank it and reel it in. And I'm like, okay. Oh, this is hard. And he's like, just keep reeling. And okay, so just picture this with me, right? I'm tiny. Big pole. And for me, it felt like I was like a 50-pound fish on the other side that was just going to drag me in if I didn't go. And I would go into the water and I would drown and I wouldn't see my parents again. I was panicking, right? I was pure panicking. So I'm over here. And this is where I really start to panic. And I'm like, Daddy? And so then he's like, okay. Yank it and then start running. Just start running up that hill. You're going to have to drag it out. I'm like, wait, okay. And I am fighting for my life at this point. I think the fish was only like 2 pounds. Not even that. It was tiny. But I'm fighting for my little life at this point. I needed that fresh air from that day to fill my lungs a little bit extra that day, and it sure did. Because I kept reeling. I kept going. And then I saw that final magic moment. I saw splashing. I saw a tail flipping in the air. And I'm reeling. I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm reeling it in. I'm getting it. I'm doing this all on my own. I'm doing it. This is amazing. And I was just so excited. I was so excited because that was a historical moment for me. It was the day of my first unassisted catch. And at the time, oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that very much so. Yeah, you can. She did it. Yes, she can. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so, on that day, I was just thinking that was the magic of it. But the real magic of it was that it was, in a lot of ways, an initiation into the wisdom of my family, which is largely centered around the idea if you teach a man to fish, he'll never go hungry. And if you learn how to do for yourself, you'll learn how to do for others as well. So it was that and a deepening in my understanding that I really can do anything as long as I believe in myself. That I can make the most unexpected, wildest, magical outcomes happen if I just commit to it. And most importantly, I learned that day that even if my guides aren't there to put their hands on my line, that they're there with me, standing behind me, just calmly whispering, just keep running up that hill. Don't stop. Wait for the right time. You will know because I know. And you will make that full connection. Okay, so we all know the old saying, right? If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, ding, 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 ding. Y'all are lovely. Y'all are on it. Okay, so the same thing is true for apples, right? There's 2 kinds of people. There's one person, if they're hungry, you give them an apple, they eat the apple, they're done for the day. There's the other person, you give them an apple, they eat it, but then they take the seeds and they keep the seeds and they plant the seeds. Now that person, they know with that mindset that it might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but at some point, that second person will have an orchard of abundance for his whole family and community and for generations yet to come. So, we didn't grow up knowing who our ancestors were or what wisdom they would have passed down to us. And I might never really know exactly who my people were as individuals and their individual stories and what they were like and what they would have passed on to me. But I feel them. And I know who stands behind me. So I'm a descendant of the man who taught his people how to fish, and of the woman who taught others how to sow seeds. I come from the people who come to me at night when I'm sleeping in my dreams and tell me things. And I might not always remember those things when I wake up. But I feel them and I hear them. I hear them calmly whispering to me. Just keep running up that hill. Don't give up. Wait for the right time. And you will know, because I know. And you will make that full connection. And don't forget to water the trees on the way for those yet to come. Thank you. Wait, real quick. I have to. Round of applause for the man, the myth, the legendary, still Bill Merritt, my daddy. Happy Father's Day, Daddy. Stand up. Okay, real quick. This is probably gonna embarrass him, but I have to tell a really cool story, like really short story. Okay, so my dad's kind of a badass, right? I like to brag about this. Do you guys know the band, the Gap band? You know, the funk band? Yeah, you know. Okay, yeah, you know what's up. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. Okay, so my dad was like a child prodigy on the drums when he was a kid, right? And so when the band was forming up in Oklahoma, he was just a boy, but he joined the band. He played the drums for them. So y'all can thank still Bill over here for all those slapping beats y'all be jamming to because he laid them down first. All right? All right, I'm gonna leave y'all alone now, but thank you so much. I appreciate you.